Holy shit, the season 3 trailer is finally here, and it's time to go down that road again. Oh yeah, you know which road I'm talking about. That road. From has been a show that has held my interest since the first episode of season 1. And as always, there have been many fans that have grown tired of not having any definite super concrete answers. But for me personally, that format has been working pretty well so far. It's a story, guys, and with a story, you don't get all the answers in the beginning. You gotta be patient, and hopefully in the end, the payoff is worth the wait. I personally have been enjoying the ride so far, and I don't need to see anything that's been rushed or thrown together. Let the From creators take their time. Plus, I thought last season was fine. Of course, it wasn't as much progression as I would have liked to see, but I still enjoyed it. And now, finally, I'm ready to theorize on what they might have cooking up for us for the 3rd season. Starting with the very first shot of the season 3 trailer, which is also a familiar shot from the finale of season 2, where Tabitha wakes up in the hospital and notices that she made it out. At least that's what we're led to believe at the moment. But we all know that some kind of weird ass twist is coming. Then afterwards we see Jade and Boyd taking a body to be buried. And when we see something like this, where Boyd is moving a body in that way, in that weird wheelbarrow type of thing, it normally means that it was someone that the monsters got a hold of.
What's in the car?
Nothing, just some supplies, gotta go over to the church, take them to Father Country.
And my guess is that it was another new member of the town, since we begin to see new faces throughout the trailer. During this time in the trailer, we hear Boyd saying it was an ambush, and Donna responds to him by asking, "How many did you save?"
It was an ambush.
How many did you save?
We see them back at the police station having this discussion, and Boyd's shirt is covered in blood, which wasn't the way we left things at the end of season 2 after he freed everyone from the cicada coma and ran off behind one of our mystery dogs. So Donna tells him that he did the only thing he could do and he lost. And Jesus Christ, Donna, that wasn't really much of a pep talk. And then afterwards, he's seen carrying a body in the church. So given the context clues here, some sort of ambush happened, and there was a little slaughter fest that went down. And my guess is that Boyd and the others have to bury quite a few bodies afterwards. And we all know that there's always a slaughter fest quota that has to be met in Fromland. The first one that we all know about happened when Victor was a kid. Then there was the Colony House massacre, and then the new group that arrived on the bus at the end of season 1 who caught hell in the beginning of season 2. And my guess is that we are about to get another. And oh damn, look at that, it's little Ethan. He's getting so tall. Oh, and look, it's Victor. And then there's a shot at Kenny in the diner destroying the legendary jukebox. And the jukebox is always playing a song that's symbolic of upcoming events / foreshadowing. So apparently it may have been playing a song that Kenny was not interested in hearing in that moment, and he had to get rid of it. And this might be a sign that something happened to Kenny's mom, Miss Lou. If so, they really don't have any plans to give this kid a break. Kill his dad? Okay. Possibly lose his love interest? Alright. And then kill his damn mom. And I said possibly because I think there's still hope for him and Christy, but only time will tell. Then we have a shot of Jade in the woods, and holy shit, there's snow. And of course, if you guys been following their social media page, you guys know it's been snowing on set up in Nova Scotia, which if you guys remember, seasons aren't really a thing in Fromland. Victor points this out in season 2 and talks about how it's strange that the trees are changing colors. And he's been there for years, so the guy kinda knows what the hell he's talking about. But the most shocking thing about this scene is that Jade has a new vision, which I'm like 95% sure that this is a vision he's having. But he looks up and sees a guy in dirty clothes with one of his damn eyes just gone. Like the damn eye is just out to lunch and we don't know what happened. And this ghostly guy, who we've never seen before, takes a sip of something from a skull. Not sure what the hell that means yet, but I know Jade better be surviving this season. Also, he's out there with someone, but we can't see who this someone is in the trailers. But a poster from MGM's social media confirms that he's out there with Christy. Then in the next shot, we see Jim and Kenny out in the woods, who are more than likely out looking for Tabitha. That's my guess. I'm sure Victor told him that Tabitha went inside the tree. Maybe. I mean, we already know from season 2 that Jim knows that Victor is the one that led Tabitha there.
Do you know the way to the tower?
But I know the way to the bottle tree.
The what? Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Unfortunately for you, Jim, I hope so, because we need to see some more chaos. And there's Fatima, and it looks like the greenhouse is done and all the plants are dead. That looks like a pile of rotten food and plants to me. Plus, last season, I think Donna and Fatima mentioned something about how the plants in the garden were dying. So this confirms it. And then Donna confirms in the next scene with Boyd that they're out of food. I guess the animals have been dying too, but that's currently unconfirmed at this point in the trailer. Then we see Victor with a shovel as we hear him saying so many things are changing here. And it looks like he has a drawing of a tree that moved. There's dotted lines showing the tree in different positions. And the question here is, what is Victor looking for? Maybe he hid something underground somewhere when he was a kid. More answers we definitely could use. Then he tells Sarah that he has to remember. We also get to see a shot of Tabitha speaking to a priest about how what she's been through isn't possible. But my question here is, why would she be speaking to a priest at this point in time? Wouldn't she try to reach out to the authorities? I don't know. Hopefully we get to see a version of that. But she may also feel like what she has experienced isn't real. And maybe that's why she's speaking to a priest. I'm not sure. She also goes to some new stranger's house that we've never seen before, and the guy says, "I think you're here for what's in the basement." And then we see drawings in the basement of the little dirty white children from Fromland. Is this guy their parents in the real world? Maybe they were sick and ended up in Fromland somehow, since it was just the two that Tabitha has seen before. Either way, this guy obviously has some sort of connection to Fromland. Then there's another scene that cuts back to Jim and Kenny in the woods, where we get our first look at some kind of scarecrow human figure in the woods. Since we've never actually seen these in the series before, my guess is that Jim and Kenny have reached areas much farther out than what we've seen previously. And this might be a warning, similar to an actual scarecrow telling our characters to turn back. Also, during this time, they see something out in the woods that prompts Kenny to pull out his gun. And it's almost like they've discovered some kind of new area and some sort of new threat within that area. Then the next shot is our boy Boyd with his bell, and we hear him say, "We can still win." Basically showing us that although things have changed and become more difficult in the town, Boyd still hasn't given up hope and is still motivated to fight. But we also have to keep something in mind from the end of season 2, where the evil fake Abby reveals to Boyd that the forest feeds off hope and not fear.
It wants you to fight. It wants you to have hope that you could actually win.
Why?
Because hope is what makes you willing to suffer. It's not your fear that feeds the forest boy. It's hope.
So of course we've got some wild moments to come in season 3, which the cast also mentioned at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
That actually stayed with me for months. Like for months, I couldn't, every time I closed my eyes to go to sleep, it was there, and it finally went away. And then I had to do some ADR just recently, and I couldn't look at the screen because I didn't want to live with it again. So it's something scary, yeah.
This about season 3, there isn't a single episode that I read that didn't leave me with goosebumps this year. Like burning with goosebumps. The way I felt when I saw that trailer, I just felt like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are going to see this.
In the next shot, we see monsters, some kind of fire outside the gas station, and Miss Lou, Jade, and others in danger. It looks like a dead cow on the ground, so my guess is that the monsters may have started trying to kill their livestock as a way to lure them outside at night, hoping that they'll try to save them. We also see Victor running over to save Jade from that crazy ass milkman, and then afterwards, the next shot is Boyd telling Randall how the only way they all go home is by working together. And of course, Randall is still trying to do his own thing, still putting others in danger in the process. No surprise there. But I still think that Randall is going to have his redemption arc. I'm not sure if we're going to get it this season, but it's coming in my opinion. In the next scene, Julie and Ethan are seen opening the door for the notorious creepy monster grandma. And personally, I don't really understand why this is even happening. These kids are veterans to all this chaos by now, so how in the hell are they still falling for stuff like this? I hope how they were tricked or how this moment came about is explained and is justified, because it really doesn't add up at this point. And there's a shot of our boy in white and Victor, which just looks like another flashback. So hopefully Victor is remembering whatever it is he needs to remember before shit gets worse. Plus, I think it's about time we get something substantial on the boy in white, because like, damn it now, give us something. Like, what is he? Who is he? Something. In the next scene, we see a shot of Ellis and Fatima, and it looks like she's sick, like she's been coughing up blood, which definitely isn't a good sign considering the fact that she's pregnant. And I think Fatima's baby being born there is going to turn out to be more of a curse rather than a sign of hope, but we'll see. The next scene is Donna breaking down, telling Boyd that the game is rigged and why can't they just leave them alone. And this is a huge deal because everyone who's a From fan knows that Donna is a tough cookie. And if she's beginning to lose her grip, then things are truly about to become terrible. And that looks intense. Then there's a shot of Elgin possibly seeing the creepy Slappy knockoff, which is also new because usually only Jade sees this guy. I mean, I think Victor may have seen him once, but he only tends to haunt Jade. Now this could have been separate scenes that they just cut together to try to throw us off, but it is possible that Elgin is really seeing the Slappy knockoff at this point. I mean, he has shown us that he's been having visions from what we saw in season 2 with the Fatima looking dead woman. Then there's our boy Jade at the gas station, still brainstorming on the meaning of this symbol, still using all types of weird shit to recreate the symbol, to look at it from different angles to see if he can find something within the puzzle. And it looks like it's still giving him hell, unfortunately, but we got faith in you, Jade. Then we hear Boyd telling someone, whatever this place throws at us, we're going to find our way home, while also being shown a scene of Sarah and Julie outside at night trying to be quiet. And since Julie is still wearing the same clothes she was wearing in the other scene when she escaped the house with Ethan, I assume she went and found Sarah for help. Now in this next scene, it looks like there's a new character at Colony House being shot from a window inside. There's also a guy in the back by the door with a gun like he's taking cover. So it looks like some sort of shootout might be happening here. Like, what the hell is going on? Then we see Jim in the house as the phone rings, and it might be our mysterious man on the phone again. Who knows? Mr. Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim. And then afterwards we go into a crazy hodgepodge of back-to-back cuts, and the first scene we see is definitely a new location. This looks like the place that Jim and Kenny may have found. Are these scarecrow figures being used by some other Fromland survivors to keep monsters away? I mean, what do they represent exactly? But they do seem to be a barrier on the outskirts of this location, which I assume is being used as some sort of defense. But the question is, a defense against what exactly? This next shot at the church kind of looks like a funeral, so it makes you wonder, who did we lose? Because I see Jim, Boyd, Donna, Kenny, and Jade in the crowd. Plus, I don't think they've ever really held a funeral for anyone before, so maybe this isn't a funeral. Maybe it's everyone seeking help from God. We already know that there's been a lot of biblical references used throughout the show so far, so that could be the case. And of course, we have seen moments where they've stood around graves and sort of paid respects, but we've actually never seen a funeral ceremony before. But it also looks like Ethan is going to put flowers on the table, so maybe they feel like Tabitha has died. Then there's another shot of Jade contemplating on some sort of decision out in the snow. Then we also get a commentary from Randall where he talks about how he doesn't think dying is the worst thing that can happen to them there. So I don't know, maybe this is going to be the season where he finally comes around and understands that all these things he's seeing is real, or they seem to be real anyway, because we don't even really know ourselves. Then we get another shot like the one from the season 3 teaser where it looks like Boyd is being tortured by the monsters. We also see a shot of Tabitha out and about wherever the hell she is, and I think the bear trap we see someone step in is Christy or Jade, but I think it's more than likely Jade since we saw Christy wearing white sneakers. Then there's another weird shot where Randall falls to the ground and it seems like something's crawling on him, but it can't be cicadas again, right? That's definitely a weird scene. What do you guys think? There's Christy. Then there's some new cop character encountering the monsters, and it looks like she's having one hell of a time. Then there's Fatima in the bathroom, still bleeding from the mouth. Then it looks like the one-eyed creepy guy that drank from the skull is attacking Jade. And I'm assuming that this shot is just Sarah trying to keep Ethan quiet. And of course, we don't get to see who's on the phone when Jim answers it. We also get to see Randall and Boyd outside surrounded by monsters. That also looks like a brand new ambulance that Boyd is searching through looking for the keys for. So this is probably how Fatima will get help through whatever medical supplies they find there. Also, whatever Randall has in his hand, I'm willing to guess that's the reason why he's outside. He probably went to fetch some sort of supply. I doubt he would just be caught outside at a time like this. And then the trailer ends with the creepy lady telling Boyd that he can't save them all. And then there's that beautiful release date we've been waiting on, which is September 22nd. So you guys already know I'm looking forward to the upcoming season, but I'd like to know y'all's thoughts down below, and what did you guys catch from the trailer that I may have missed? And what theories did you guys draw from this trailer also? But there you have it, and as always, thank you guys for watching.